that twice.
This is so fun.
Probably should have had some breakfast.
No. I
Breakfast is it?
fast. I fast. Yeah.
Oh,
So not yet. After we're done, I'll get a nice breakfast though.
okay. Yeah. Well, you need it because
It's all good. It's because I drink my coffee. I've been drinking all water this morning.
hmm
So it's all good. All
Good.
right. So let me do one more thing as a backup. Okay. All right. This is where I cut it.
Oh, action.
I have something that says action. I really need to get it as a ridiculous background. All right. That's not gonna work with my hair falling in my face like that either. I'm a bit of a perfectionist, Darcie.
That's okay. I'm a recovering perfectionist,
I try.
so it
I
works.
try. I do my best, we'll say.
Mm.
All right. Okay, welcome to the Choose on Purpose podcast, where leaders live with intention. And today, your host, Becky Plutz, am sitting with Darcie Burtch, and we're in person. We're shoulder to shoulder today. If you're just tuning in on audio, we are in person in my home studio. And Darcie and we've only met in the last couple months, and Darcie is a freaking rock star that I have a couple notes that I'm just going to share about her, and then she's going to be able to share a little bit from obviously her story. So, Darcie is a trauma survivor. She is a glamorous grandma, so of course she's a glamma. She is a caregiver for her father. She is a podcast host as well for the School of Hard Knocks. And I'm excited that she's going to dive into some of her journey today. And of course, we're going to be talking about how she lives intentionally and on purpose. And um, going from hard knocks to healing. That's what we're going to be chatting about, I imagine, a little bit.
Amen.
So we're going to dive into have you introduce yourself, but I'm grateful that you're here and in person and that we live close enough and we could be in person.
Yeah.
So thanks for taking the time to sit with me and share some more about who you are. And I'm excited to have you with I know that she's resilient and courageous and doing all kinds of amazing, exciting things. So
Yes.
thank you for being on the show and tell us anything else that you want to start us out with
Well, thanks for
you.
having me.
Yes,
I'm pretty excited to be here too.
absolutely.
So I think you pretty much nailed everything about me. I mean, I have
Do a little research.
I know I have two granddaughters. I mean, I wear all kinds of different hats, but I'm going to tell you my favorite hat that I wear is definitely being a grandma.
Hmm.
That is like my favorite thing in the whole
I
entire
believe it.
world. Our oldest granddaughter just turned 5. She just started school. I was just telling some of my followers the other day, to me, coming from trauma, I am trying to like be the best grandma ever. So I'm in competition with my grandma, and I don't know how I'm going to beat that because she was incredible. But Serenity had her first day of school 2 weeks ago, and I got up at 5:30 in the morning, drove 33 minutes to be with her for 15 minutes to watch her get on the bus because it just meant that much to be there for
Oh,
that. So out of all the hats I wear, being grandma is my favorite.
Serenity. That's a beautiful name.
Serenity, Faith, and Aliana Grace.
Wow. I
Yeah,
love that.
pretty blessed.
That is amazing. I love that you're committed to that relationship. I have three of my own children, but I've always known like that title is gonna be better. Grandma. Like,
It is the best.
I mean, I don't know how it couldn't be. We as parents do our best. And
Mhm.
then, right, now we can see and look back in hindsight to say that would have been different if this would have been different, and so on and so forth. And all we can do is grow and do better now.
Yes.
And of course, your grandkids are going to get a better version, or more understanding
hmm
version, a more compassionate version because you went through parenting. We didn't know what we were doing when we're parenting in the beginning, right? So by the time you become a grandma, you got all the good makings of a grounded human.
Yeah, I just had that conversation with our daughter actually. So we're Christmas fanatics.
Okay.
Like we are known as the Griswolds in our
Oh,
neighborhood. Like
geez.
it gets
I'm gonna have to
crazy.
come stalk your place and
I
check it
think one
out.
year we had like 10,000 lights on our house. Like we have 15 trees that we like when I say it's
Holy
crazy, it's
smoke.
crazy.
We're gonna have to come for a little
Please do.
parade.
Please come walk through. People like to do that. But we have a tree dedicated to each one of my granddaughters.
Oh, yeah, I love that.
So every year we have been buying Serenity in particular. This is Allie's first Christmas, but we
Mm.
buy her a new ornament to put on her tree, and then we put the date on the bottom of it. And
Hmm.
last year I started crying, and Kayla, my daughter's like, "Mom, what is wrong?" And I said, I just wish I would have been able to,
Yeah,
do that with you. And I was young, and your dad and I were just figuring things out. And she said, Mom, you always did everything to make the holidays so special
I'm
all of the
sure.
time. But that's the growth, right?
Right.
That's because now I know, oh man, if I could go back and do it again. But
Hmm.
now I have the opportunity to do it as a grandma.
Yeah, and we think that that was missing, right? Like, but
Yes,
we don't know what we don't know. And as the parent, we don't know how to fill that gap. But also, remember, the kids don't know either.
that's right.
They might hear, if they're going to school, they might hear like, oh, their friends do different things in their family's dynamic, and but they don't know what they don't know either. So they don't
Right.
know that they're quote unquote missing anything, and we don't quote unquote know that we're missing giving it to them
Right.
either. So yeah, hindsight, it can be a blessing and a
Yes.
curse. So don't stay there too long. Right?
No, don't.
I mean, and that's a lot of what you're all about,
Hmm.
not staying stuck in one place for too long because we're about growth and evolving in our lives and learning from the challenges that we come to. So,
Absolutely.
okay, so you had said what motivates you is giving women the courage to keep going through adversity,
Yes.
that they can heal through big things.
Hmm.
So, can you share a moment in your own journey where, you realize that your story had the power to help someone else heal?
Well, I've gone through a lot of different things in my journey.
Yeah.
But when I realized that I actually had the power to share my story with people to help them go through healing was after my dad became a survivor of a workplace shooting, leaving him with a traumatic brain injury. Because up until that point, I was stuck in the trauma of everything else that had happened in my life. I
Mhm.
was just going with the punches, just rolling with it. Like, okay, I'm not going to think about it. I'm totally fine. And I never was. But when I started to advocate for my dad, right? So, like talking to doctors, talking to nurses, workman's comp, I fired two doctors.
Yeah.
I thought, man, I can advocate for myself. I look at the strength that you've had and the power that you've had to help your dad. You need to start helping yourself that way. And that is when the breakthrough happened. That is when I realized you put all of this passion and fire into helping other people,
Hmm.
but you're not filling your own cup, right? That was the moment.
Yeah. And sometimes it really takes something so significant in our lives
Hmm.
to help push through that and break through, like you said, because, maybe we as the person aren't a big enough reason yet,
Yeah.
and I think so much about how, even parenthood, like becoming a parent, like we do things way more extreme maybe for our kids
Yes.
than we do for ourselves a lot of, at least that's my experience, right?
Hmm.
Like sometimes it really takes someone else, knowing that it's for someone else, that gets me like fired up and
Yes.
like I'm a big champion of an underdog. So like
Hmm.
I was
Same.
always the kid on the playground that was like, hey, that's not right,
Hmm.
and I would stick up for the little person that would be
Hmm.
like getting teased or whatever. But I think about that and how important it is that, these challenges we get to see, that,
Yes.
oh, you found what was there for you too. Like you could do it for not just to your father, but now you could see like, well, why wouldn't I do it for myself too?
Absolutely.
I
It
love
it
that.
it made me pretty much unstoppable at this point.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And that was how many years? Like when did you have that? When was that breakthrough?
Um, just about 2 years ago, I would say. So his shooting happened October 3rd, 2019.
Mm.
So we're coming up on the 6 year anniversary of it.
Well,
So
yeah.
this isn't something that's just instantaneous.
Mhm.
I mean, it took me going through the actions and actually looking back like, whoa. Look at how far you've come in 4 years of advocating for your dad, taking care of your dad. This is something that you can do for yourself. So you really need to give yourself time and grace. You're not going to realize it immediately. There's no switch that just goes off. But for me, it was like 4 years in, and I'm like, okay, that's a long time to dedicate to somebody else's care. I'll
Hmm.
start taking care of you a little bit.
Hmm.
So it took a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, the courage to even, I mean, like you said, firing doctors and like that advocating. I can see how, and I've never went through anything like that, of course. So I'm like, but the advocating for other people, being the push to say you're worth it too.
Mm-hmm.
You're worth speaking up when someone's, needs to be fired, when they're
Yes.
not giving what you need or what someone else needs. We have no problem, speaking up and giving someone else like borrowing our
Mm-hmm.
strength, right? And helping someone else believe that they're worth it. So reversing that for yourself is so important. And thinking about the courage that it takes to even speak up and say it, but then how that filled you with the strength and you're like unstoppable.
Well, yeah, it wasn't speaking. I mean, they had to like shut hospital doors because it was like I was a mad woman. I was screaming.
Yeah.
I mean, when
It
you
was like, you will not stop this.
I know they kept telling me my dad wasn't going to survive, that we should just take him off of support. And I was like, you know what? We're done. You work for us. I'm telling you, this is what I'm advocating for. The one
Amen.
doctor, when I told him that we were going to trach and peg my dad, he slammed the door in my face. Guess who was no longer our doctor
Yeah,
anymore?
not that one.
Because whatever your beliefs are, make sure that you put it down on pen and paper. Because if somebody else has to make that decision for you, which I had to make for my dad,
Mm.
I did the best I could with what was in front of me. And that's all we can do with a lot of things in life, right? You
Mm-hmm.
can only make decisions based upon the information that you have right there in front of you. Because we don't have a roadmap to things in life. You're not born with an instruction manual. It's
Mm-hmm.
what you've been through up to that point that you have to base your best decision off of. And that's all I could do.
I love that you say, like, I heard the emphasis on, even writing it down, having it,
Hmm.
be, I mean, the Bible says, write it in plain,
Yes.
write it plain. So the importance of that, because even having discussions with people in my life, it's like, what if I forget?
Hmm.
What they actually wanted or what they specifically believe about something that so serious,
Yes.
so life changing, or, death at their door. It's like,
Hmm.
remove that question,
Yeah.
and have that. So, wow, the fact that you had to fight so much with the quote unquote healthcare
Right.
system, right?
Used loosely.
Quote unquote,
Yep.
the hospital, we'll call
Yes.
it that.
Yep.
Um, Wow. Yeah. And the strength that it takes to even continue to do that and go against these so-called professionals,
Yep.
but you have the heart for the person,
Yes.
and
Hmm.
not the the other side where it's just like a client or a person or a patient or a number to get
Right.
passed. So
That's the best terminology for it is when they consider you to be a number.
number. Yeah. Yeah, that's good. I'm glad that and you are still doing full-time care for your father,
Yes.
after that. So, and is that been the 2 years now that
No, in February he'll be home for 4 years
four
already.
years?
A
Yeah.
long time. Yeah.
Uh,
Full-time care from morning until night. He cannot do anything on his own.
yeah. So do you still feel unstoppable?
I feel like this is the hardest, most rewarding journey I've ever
Mm.
walked through in my entire life. I feel like in my end of days, this is going to be the one thing I 110% know that I have no regrets about at all.
Yeah.
Zero regrets. It is hard. It is time consuming. My husband and I have pressed pause on our life, our dreams, being able, I mean, we have zero help. I have two siblings that help periodically. So, I mean, my husband and I will get a night away maybe once a year.
Hmm.
Like, I'm not
And you got
exaggerating.
that recently, right?
Yes, we did. We got to go to a retreat, and good Lord, did we need it.
Yeah. A
And
little
then I came out
grief.
of that retreat feeling like I was even more unstoppable and
Yep.
changed and wrote a chapter in a book and started a podcast in the same week. So it was, unstoppable, just soaring.
Yeah. One flow for the next,
Yes.
and I love that you make sure that you're always talking about the real, like, the challenge, the
Oh,
hardships in
yes.
it. It's not all glamorous,
No.
and a lot of that comes from, the way that we show up,
Hmm.
and being willing to do that. So you had also mentioned that being seen and heard means your healing wasn't just for you, right? And that's what we're talking about. This isn't just for
No.
you. It wasn't just for your dad. It was for everybody's better,
Hmm.
right? So, how has sharing your story changed the way that you see yourself as a leader?
Well, first of all, when you're changing yourself, it's like throwing a rock in the water and the ripple effect touches everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And that was such a huge thing for me. I could see things changing around me with my immediate family, with my friends, with my following, with where I felt the
Right.
courage to go in my life. So taking the opportunity to be able to do that, it makes you grow inside as a person. There's no way for you to not see yourself as a leader when you're leading other people to see certain things like, look at what I've done. This is what I've done. You can do it too. And then
Mm-hmm.
people start saying things like, oh my gosh, it's like you were in my head. I really that's exactly what I feel like I have to do. Or you reminded me of something so simple. Like I call it my toolbox. So everybody should have a toolbox, right? So like if
Yeah.
you have a moment where something's happening, pull that toolbox out. Is there a certain song? Is there a certain scripture? Is there a certain movie? Do you need to drink some water, have a healthy snack, go for a walk, take a bath, take a shower? There's so many things that we can do to protect our own sanity, where unfortunately a lot of people just get stuck there. And it's
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, I was just re-triggered and now I'm gonna stay in bed and eat Oreos all day long. There's nothing wrong with doing that sometimes, but getting stuck there is
Yeah.
not the ideal way of living your life.
Mm-mm. I wouldn't even call it living, right? It's
No,
survival at that
yes.
point. Um, yeah, I have a very strong view of, like, do we call it living when we're really just getting by, when we're really just
Absolutely.
doing the bare minimum that we need to survive, and the difference in that, the quality of life,
Mm-hmm.
right? I mean, the quality of life, and thinking about the quality of life that you continue to give your father by
Mm-hmm.
having the hope and, like, the joy that you want to keep instilling in the challenge, and the trials that are there, but keep going.
Well, we don't just let them survive either. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm proud. That's why I'll toot my horn all
Yeah.
day about my dad. I mean, we've broken a wheelchair. He has like a really sturdy wheelchair because we've taken him to like the Blues Fest, the Balloon Glow concerts. He's seen like Thunderstruck, which is an AC/DC spin-off band at our local Grand Theater. Like the people came to fix his chair. He's like, "What are you doing to this chair?" I'm like, "We're taking it off-roading. We're living."
Hmm.
I didn't just bring my dad home to let him waste away inside of a
Right.
recliner and not do anything. We're
Mhm.
seeing fireworks. We're seeing the airplane thing that we have here in I mean, he was in
Oh,
all of
yeah.
all of that,
Mhm.
So I mean, there is a benefit to taking care of other people, but taking care of yourself at the same time
Gotta.
because that wholeness, that full circle moment, watching my dad smile, watching his face light up is like, when he has aphasia, so he can't talk very often, but I'll say, "Can I get a smooch?" And when he kisses me on the cheek, I'm like, "Ah, there it is.
Aw.
There's the thank you." And that's
Yeah.
all I need. It's like, I know he's like, "Man, I can't believe my daughter's doing this for me," but that's my heart. It's a serving heart, and I'm glad to do it.
Yeah. I'm So many of our listeners can relate to that. Like, moments of feeling like, is this worth it?
Hmm.
Feeling unseen, and then having those moments. I even think about just parenting in general for me. Like,
Yes.
I'm just like so frustrated, so at the edge, and then, like, one of my sweet children does something. I'm just like,
Yes.
okay,
Because you don't
I'm
need
back.
like balloons and a parade.
Yeah.
It's the small things like that. Just thanks, Mom. I really appreciate it. That you're
Mm.
like, oh my gosh, yes, I'm doing a good job.
And like you said, that servant heart, just
Yes.
remembering, like,
Hmm.
we're raising these children or we're doing these things in the world and our families for a greater purpose.
Yeah,
It's not just me today in this, but not losing sight of that as well.
absolutely.
Yeah, I think you like thinking about when it goes unseen or unheard too. Like you had said, silence is a secret killer.
Yeah.
And that hit me,
Hmm.
right? So, why do you believe speaking openly, why do you believe that speaking openly about our struggles is such a game changer for women who, are really ready to step into their authenticity more?
Well, because the kid gets you out of the victim mentality.
Hmm.
So you can only be a victim for so long. And I know that that hurts to hear because you feel almost, it's very weird because when
Yeah.
you're new to healing, being a victim almost feels like the safe place.
Mm.
It's like, this
It's
is why I
familiar.
can't do more. This is why I can't get out of my house. This is why I can't go to meetups with friends or try something different, is because you're in this safe place. So initially coming out of that victim mentality and into a survivor
Mhm.
mentality is where the switch in your brain happens. And then you can start being so open and talking about things from a perspective of who you once were and who you now are. And that
Mhm.
is such a huge difference in your recovery. So, my whole slogan is getting unstuck from trauma. Because if you're staying in trauma, you're stuck there. But if you're stuck in healing, you're going to be stuck somewhere.
Mhm.
You might as well be stuck at the healing part because as you continue to heal, you continue to grow. You continue to be able to serve other people, help yourself. So that whole idea of filling your own cup so it can overflow to help other people. When I used to hear that, like in my network marketing days, I was like, ugh, that terminology. But that's because I was stuck in trauma. I was
Mm.
like, I don't want to fill my own cup, take care of myself. Who does that? Like, how selfish. That's taken away from. No, it's the opposite. It's a rewiring your brain. If
Mhm.
you figure, you picture a cup overflowing, where is that overflow exactly going? It's going to every single person and thing around you. So you're healed, you're healthy, and the people around you are truly benefiting. You're serving from a place of truly wanting to serve, not from a place of, oh my gosh, that's right, I have to go and do this today.
Mhm.
I have to, and that's where you are when you're in a spot of surviving. You want to do it,
Mhm.
but you're not doing it from like a hurt place. You're
Mhm.
doing it from a forced place.
Yeah, and when we look at it that way, my terminology is that at that point, then we get to do the thing. It's
Mm-hmm.
not an I have to do the thing. It's now a get to. It's a choice. It's a
Mm-hmm.
willingness that, nobody has to force, to happen. It's I want to.
Yeah, I mean, if we even think about the club that we're a part of,
Hmm.
that was so weird for me.
Yeah.
That was such a huge step for me.
Just like because it's very much like
It
focused
is
on.
making the dedication to go around a group of people and to be open and authentic with who I am. And I'm
Mm,
so new to this journey that I told my husband, that movie Yes Man with Jim Carrey? I'm going to start being Yes Woman. I'm
yeah.
just going to start saying yes because
Hmm.
yes, so far for the last 2 years has not gotten me anywhere except for anywhere good. So joining that club was like so scary on that first day.
Yeah.
And I don't present myself as that. I'll come in full of
Right.
fire, like, hi, I'm Darcie. It's so nice to meet you. Well, inside my bones are like
Uh-huh.
shaking. But now it's like, oh, yes, it's the second Thursday of every month. And I'm so excited to go. And now I'm like excited to show up. I mean, even the first couple of things, I know people probably noticed. Does she not like hugging or is she just not that person? Now it's like before I leave, I'm like, how, bye. And I'm
Yeah.
like all into
Here
it
for
now.
it.
So that was another step in growth for me.
Yeah. It's so interesting. I didn't know how much, people would always say that to me. They would always say, Becky, you're so bold, you're so confident. How do I get more of that in my life? That's my story. Like my whole life, everyone always thought that. But it was that.
Yes.
That was the mechanism, the survival thing that I always
Hmm.
did was like, I'm going, so act as if I am ready to go.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And even when I don't, like nobody ever knows when I'm nervous. I mean, podcasting, speaking, it
Mm-hmm.
was my fear.
Hmm.
So, like, I'm now doing the things that once literally I would sob, I would cry, I would have to give myself pep talks about. It is about growth. It is about getting out of our comfort zone. And we can't do that because, like, the victimhood that you mentioned, right? Like, when we're in a story
Hmm.
of whatever it is, it's familiar.
Yes.
So it feels safe, it feels familiar, and our brains are here to keep us safe. Like our
Yes.
fear is a mechanism that was by design to keep us safe.
Yes.
So naturally, we want to stay in the familiar. That's where we get to say we want change. And that's where I
Hmm.
think that it ties back to like other people. That's why we're not here to do it alone. We're meant
Right.
to do it in community. We're meant to do it with people to remind us it is for a greater purpose
Hmm.
than just how we're feeling insecure or unsure about something or, you know, just getting going in a new direction in our
Well,
life.
most of us are standing on the edge of a cliff with
Yeah,
everything in life. Should I
absolutely.
do this job? Should I do this? Should I be in
There's
this
so many
relationship?
decisions to
There's
make.
so many, but you're standing on the edge of that cliff and you're so afraid to jump. And why are you afraid to jump? Because what if the chute doesn't open? What
Yes.
if, the chute gets tangled up? What if you pass out and you can't even, we're putting all of this negative connotation inside of our
Yep.
head instead of saying, what if I jump? It is the most beautiful sunset ever. What if I jump and like an eagle soars past me? Like, what if there's a rainbow? Like, what if I'm soaring through the clouds and there's a rainbow?
I go through it. It's
Like, can you
rainbow.
imagine just pumping yourself up with
Uh-huh.
that kind of positivity every single day
Yeah.
instead of the fear? Because we are putting the own fear in ourselves. That's like the crazy thing
Hmm.
about it because we're scaring our own self instead of saying, you know what? No, it's gonna be great. It's gonna work out so perfect. It's gonna be the best day of my life ever. And you know what? It probably will be. It probably
Yeah.
will be.
Yeah. I mean, if we're gonna tell ourselves a story,
Hmm.
make it good. Make it positive.
Yes.
Make it enlightening. Make it good to the point where it's exciting. And I'm not sure if you know this, but fear or like anxiety, excuse me, anxiety and excitement are actually doing the same chemical
Hmm.
reaction in our body. And so we are telling ourselves, our mind, we're telling ourselves, I'm fearful of this.
Yes.
I'm scared of this versus I'm excited to go and do this thing that's out of my comfort zone. So that's why taking command of our thoughts is just so important because we decide what the story is.
That's how I felt the first time I had to fly in a plane.
Yeah,
I
it was a
almost
fear.
backed out. I mean, I was literally walking to the seat, still going, the plane is on the ground, Darcy. You can still turn around. It was that
Yeah.
bad. I told the
Yeah.
young girl next to me, I just want you to know this is my first. I was
Mm.
35 when I flew for the first time
Yeah.
because I allowed that fear the
Yeah.
whole
Hold you
time.
back.
I
Hmm.
said, if I throw up or something, this is my first. She's like, no, you're going to be fine. When I tell you, I enjoyed it so much on my way back, I paid for a window seat and just sat there the
Wow.
whole time. Like, I can't believe I allowed fear to steal
Yeah.
that from me for so long. The things that we're allowing fear to steal from us is like mind blowing. We literally did fly over a rainbow. I recorded it and came home and showed my dad. It was one of the
Hmm.
last things I got to show him before our life completely changed, and he was so proud of me. He's
Wow.
like, I'm so proud of you that you did that. I'm like, I'm proud of me too, because look at how
Yeah.
beautiful it was. And
Hmm.
not, it's interesting.
Yeah, fear can hold us back from living our lives if
Your
we let
best
it.
life,
Yeah.
living your best life. That's what fear
Because
is
anything's
stealing.
possible, right?
Yes,
You become unstoppable when you stop allowing fear to dictate, decide the way that you want to hide
absolutely.
and stay on the ground and
Mm-hmm.
not fly somewhere.
That's right.
I love that story. It's like that you loved it so much. I didn't ride a roller coaster that goes upside down until I was 26 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And I was terrified. I cried. No, I was 24. And there was like a 12-year-old in front of me that I was like so embarrassed. Like I'm like, oh my gosh. But right, they're more fearless because they're young and they
Yes.
don't have like the picture of their whole life ahead of them yet.
Right, right.
But yeah, like those things, I don't care if I go on roller coasters now,
Yeah,
but a
yeah.
little different. But it was like one of those things. It's like, okay, I'm this age and I haven't done it because of fear. And I was like, just
Hmm.
do it. I don't even care. Not
Yes.
something I need to do again, but I no longer allowed it to be something that I knew was stopping me. And that's really how I approach it too. Is like, if I really feel like, oh, I don't want to do that, then
Hmm.
actually it's more of a call to
Do
go
it.
do it so that I can gain my power
That's
back.
right.
Stop giving the power to the thing that I think I quote unquote
Hmm.
can't do. It's actually a curse word in my house to say
Hmm.
you can't do something.
Hmm.
It's a choice and you
Yes.
need to own it. You need to
Yes.
choose what you're going to do with it. So,
Absolutely.
I could talk about that all day, but
Yeah.
I want to ask you about, what would you say to our listeners right now who feel like their story might be too messy to share, right? Because we're talking about the victim story that we need to step out of eventually
Hmm.
here and get out of it, get unstuck from that. So, what about the women that are listening that are like, my story's too messy? What would you want to say to them?
What makes you feel like your story is too messy? What makes you feel like your story is that vastly different from somebody else's? There's nothing in this world that makes you any different from anybody else aside from your fear of stepping into your greatness and sharing what you've gone through. Somebody out there needs to hear your story. Somebody out there needs to not feel alone. Whether it is, I mean, for me, I've shared childhood trauma. I've shared going into two different foster homes. I have had a miscarriage. I dealt with alcoholism. I have dealt with corporate betrayal and now, being my dad's caregiver. It's out. I'm sharing everything because that I'm taking my strength back. So if you feel like it's too messy, even the better, because then there's more people that can relate. So just open up about it, talk about it, and take your power back.
Love it. Yeah. Thanks for giving like a quick, like, these are the things because there's such a variety of people that can relate on some level to
Any of
any
them.
of those things, like the trauma that comes in all forms in our life that we are moving through, hopefully moving through,
Hmm.
right? And the power that comes from being able to speak it out and like get it out. Like how freeing to when you said, you know, it's all coming out. It's
Yes.
just like it's all there. Like
Hmm.
I just think about like how freeing that is,
Yeah, I'm not
Stop
hiding it
hiding.
anymore. I hid for so long and not it wasn't my own fear. Like
Hmm.
I was afraid of telling my story because I didn't want to hurt my parents. I mean,
Yes.
that's the other thing is when you start to share things, you're going to realize some of the people around you ain't going to like it so much. But guess
Hmm.
what? Some of those same people should have never put you in that kind of a situation. It's not
Right.
about them. Like an apology isn't always about them. It's
Hmm.
about you. It's about you taking your power back by saying, "Hey, listen, I'm going to acknowledge what you did, and I'm going to tell you that I'm acknowledging it, and I'm forgiving you for my own comfort, for my own ability to move forward." But there's somebody out there, even if they don't directly connect to your messiness, if you want to call it that, your trauma, they know somebody else who can. That's the thing. This is when you throw that pebble in and it creates that ripple, it's going to impact so many different people. Whether it's them directly, they're like, "Oh, I can't relate to that, but my sister or my cousin or my best friend or my coworker." That's when we start moving through healing together, is when we start impacting more people.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I love that. I I always on my show, like I talk about, the importance of speaking life to the things,
Hmm.
and I think that I love to always give people the opportunity to just say your own words and like get out of your own way and like, but
Yes.
then there's a lot of truth to, right? Like when I say the people that might be afraid of sharing their story, I think more about what you just mentioned, how it's not necessarily maybe about themselves
Hmm.
saying it. It's about the relationships that it will also affect
Yes.
or bring up more things that I
Hmm.
think people probably get more afraid of.
Yeah, I have a couple of pissed off people in my family
I'm
right now.
sure. Yeah.
My mom in particular, not very happy about some of the things that I shared in my chapter in the Empower Her book. Well,
I
guess
like the way
what?
that you said though, they put you in the
Hmm.
position.
Well, and that's when I made that
Only their
decision.
their part.
They didn't protect me. Why am I protecting you? And I told both of my parents and any surrounding person around me, this isn't about you. I'm not trying to hurt you, but this is about me. And
This
if
is
you
your
love
story.
me, you're going to support me, right? So acknowledge it, move forward. My mom has been kind of zipped about it.
Mhm.
And I'm like, you know what? I'm not upset about it. I'm respecting her boundary and her space. And, hopefully we can get to a point of discussion. And if we can't, I'm still feeling pretty powerful in my journey. So,
Yeah. And you face the challenges head on now. Like
mhm.
that's, excuse me, that's what you've really shifted into. So, you know, how can our listeners use that same mindset when they're standing in front of something that feels maybe impossible
Mhm.
to go through? Like, face it.
Well, nothing's impossible. And there's this really crazy thing. It's an invisible roadblock. So many people have this invisible roadblock, like you cannot even see it, but you visually think that it's there and it's not. Like I promise you, if you walk into what it is that your mind is seeing, you're going to be okay. You're going to be better than okay. You're going to feel free for the
Mhm.
first time in a long time. I felt like I've been on social media for a decade. And my followers now are like, excuse me, ma'am, you've been through what? Like, I would have never guessed. I would have never thought. Well, why am I pretending to be somebody that I'm not I've gone through things in my life, gone through. It's past tense now. I'm healing from it. I can talk about everything from my past without getting emotional. That is such a key that you know that you're getting stuck in your healing. Like I could not talk about anything from my childhood. I would have visions, I would have night terrors. It was one of the quotes from my chapter in the book says, in my second foster home, they were like a Leave It to Beaver family when I was accustomed to a lifestyle or a lifetime movie type of lifestyle because my childhood was like a lifetime movie. And everybody knows you really shouldn't watch those because it's a lot, it's scary, like traumatic stuff in a lot of those movies. But that's what my life was. But now I've stepped into a place of, hey, listen, it is what it is. It's past tense. I'm not going to let it control me because it controlled me I'm going to be 46 in November. So I lived one way under this very heavy weight, and now it feels like 150 pounds came off of my shoulders. And it is very freeing and it's very powerful. And everybody still loves me the same. They just keep their mouth shut a little bit more. And you know what? Hallelujah, amen for that. Because we don't need any type of negativity around us. We don't do negativity when we're in healing, we do positivity. Whatever you're putting out there is what you're going to get back. So you're going to start to find yourself looking at things more positive when you're in your healing phase.
Yeah. Yeah. I love the understanding too of like continuing to put the things out there. And I think also like for myself where I'm at
Hmm.
with anything that I'm sharing, I'm getting more comfortable and not comfortable is not the right word. I'm getting more like in tune with how to share,
Hmm.
you know, reality because I'm someone that, you know, my whole adult life, once I got into personal development, like it was like, and I've always been a very positive person. Like I'm always like look for the silver lining and all of that kind of stuff. Like not Pollyanna or whatever,
Hmm.
but just really intentionally looking for the good, right?
Yes.
So for someone like me, right, it's been a challenge for me to see how to share like my journey
Hmm.
in the challenge until it's over.
Yeah.
So and I say that like when I say challenge right now, I'm saying like actual challenges that I've done, like a 75 hard day
Hmm.
challenge. I've done that multiple times. And like
Yes.
one, I don't like go brag about it all the time, but people when they hear that I do these challenges like, "Oh my God, like how did you get through it?" I was like, "Oh my God, it was terrible." Like and I'll tell you about it,
Hmm. But do you see
but
right
I don't
there? Why are you not bragging about it?
yeah.
Why are you not bragging about it? Because a lot of people, like you said, are like, how did you do that?
Yeah.
Brag about the things that you're doing. So people are like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Becky's doing this. I can do it. Like people feed off of that, and you should be proud of yourself for doing it.
Yeah.
We get so like out of tune with this. Tooting my own horn is so selfish. And no, girl, like if you do something like that, go around tooting it. Guess what I just did? I just finished that 75-day hard.
Yeah.
Like, woo, be proud of that.
Well, I will do like the finish,
Yeah.
but I'm saying like in the middle, in the
Mm-hmm.
mess, what I call the messy middle. Like I'm in this, you know, I know that I'm intentionally in this transitional time where it's like it's messy. I'm really like figuring something out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I haven't mastered the art of like going and sharing it
Mm-hmm.
in the messy middle. Like I'll figure it out or I'll find the joy in there. I'll find the celebration, which is part of my strength. That's how I help my clients a lot is help
Mm-hmm.
them get out of their own way of thinking that it's everything's doom and gloom
Mm-hmm.
because I'm very practiced in
Yep.
looking for the joy.
Yeah, it's called the highlight reel.
Yes.
It's called the highlight reel, and I
Yes.
just talked about that on
I'm
my
really good at the
podcast
highlight
yesterday.
reel.
The highlight reel is the worst thing.
I really, well, I'm a
Any,
photographer. So, right, like I've always found like ways to show
Mhm.
beauty.
But people find strength in the messy.
They do.
They don't
I do.
find strength in the beauty.
Yeah.
That's where our brains are so confuzzled, and I think a lot of it has to do with social media.
Oh, yeah.
You see a lot of these people out here. I just talked about this on my podcast
Hmm.
yesterday. You see their houses are always clean. Their marriage is perfect. Their flowers are groomed. Their children don't have any peanut butter anywhere on them at all. It's like, yeah, right. That is not reality.
That's
Like if you walk into my house right now, I can guarantee you that there is coffee spilt on the countertop that my husband did not clean up, and we've been out of bed for 3 hours. That is just reality of stuff. And the more that I stopped showing highlight reel, the more that I started showing real, raw. When my dad first came home, he would be so flustered sometimes he would like spit his food out or spit his liquid out. And I felt like it was like targeted at me. And I
yeah.
would get up and I would go and cry, but I would record a lot of that or I would share that with people because caregiving is not supposed to be pretty all the time. My dad's having to adjust to a new human. He was 60 years old and he lived one way for 60 years.
Yeah.
He's had 6 years to relearn who he is. So if I'm just sharing us at the park and us doing all of this stuff, other caregivers are going to be like, oh, what's wrong with me?
Hmm.
Why is her life so beautiful like that? Why is her dad doing so well? Why don't they ever have a bad day? We do.
Hmm.
And I'm so open about sharing that because my whole goal is we are human. We are not robots. We are not designed to be perfect. Perfection doesn't even exist on this earth. So when we're putting out these highlight reels all the time, you start to become so unrelatable to other people and they're like, "Oh my gosh, I could never do that because she's doing such a good job." No, listen. There's parts in there that are really ugly and really scary and you're going to go through those too, but you're going to grow through them.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
Yeah. Yeah. So that, I mean, for me, that's really where I've been practicing over the years of like, how can I share, how can I intentionally share that the challenges, but without it feeling like I'm working to show them the
Yes.
real, because the real stuff, not the highlight reel, because
Yeah.
I'm naturally good at and not trying to hide it, just programmed
Be
myself
vulnerable.
enough.
You have
Yeah.
to just be vulnerable.
Yeah.
And being vulnerable for people who are
It's easy
really
to be
strong
vulnerable.
is
For me, like this, like the
hmm
in person, this is why I gravitate, why I've transitioned to this podcast to really want to be in person with people because I can naturally be vulnerable with you in person.
yes.
It's through the screen and the like posting static post.
hmm
I'm not a natural writer to like
hmm
want to pull the vulnerability out through static words.
Yeah.
I am expressive. I'm a
hmm
photographer. I'm a creative. I'm a
hmm
creator. But like
hmm
that's why this interaction is so important. So just one of the things that I know about myself in my healing journey with everything is like that's one of the things that I think I've used so often in my life that I've really now had to work to get to the raw
Yes.
without feeling like I'm putting the raw on display
hmm
to be, to be like getting sympathy or any of that too. I
Yes.
think that's a whole nother side of that. So,
Mm-hmm.
um, let's look a little bit to the future. I'm a future like I believe that the future is happening right now. So
Yes.
like what we're doing in the present matters right now for the future self that we're creating. We're giving a vote to those women right now doing this show. So
Absolutely.
I love to ask the question about like 5 years in the future. So in 5 years, you had said that you see yourself building your dream home,
Mhm.
becoming foster parents for kids and dogs,
Yes.
and traveling the world.
Yes.
So that's a really powerful vision. And what do you believe is the first aligned step for making that vision a reality?
The first aligned step already happened, and it's me being authentically me. Me being authentically me has given me the opportunity to take the platform that I have and make it a reality. So for so long, I dreamt it. I knew that we wanted to buy land and build a house previous to my dad's incident. That's slowed us down just a little bit. We've always wanted to foster kids and dogs. Well, how are we supposed to do that when I'm already taking care of my dad? So when you're seeing yourself in these situations, for me, it has to say, okay, we want to travel the world, but we still have my dad. How are we going to do that? I'm going to have to hire a caregiver to come along with because I'm tired of letting the incident that happened to us control our life.
Hmm.
So when you're putting your goals out there like this, mine is so
Mhm.
clear. It's been on a vision board in my mind for a long time, but now it's actually on a vision board. And
Okay.
it's like it's happening. Like there's no way that it's not. I'm so clear about the steps that have to happen to get there. And the first one is this now, being
Mhm.
authentically myself. I struggled for so long in corporate America thinking that that was the way I was going to make a way. And I had a really great corporate America job. And then the whole bottom fell out. And then I had to completely start over again. And then in network marketing, I mean, it's great, but it's a vehicle for me to get to where I am now. That's not where I want to stay. And a lot of people do it and it's awesome. I've been in it, like I said, for a decade. So there's like nothing bad I can say about it other than it's not my niche anymore.
Mhm.
So now I've grown to this level, which is just going to continue to project me into the future, which is where my goals are.
Yeah. I love that. Okay, so and that's there you go. That's exactly what it looks like to be living intentionally
Yes.
and, leading with purpose in your life.
Mm-hmm.
So you just launched your own show,
Yes.
The School of Hard Knocks. So tell us, I want to spotlight your show right now as
Mm-hmm.
we're wrapping up. Tell us who it's for, what can women expect when they tune in, and why are those conversations so needed?
So the School of Hard Knocks is geared towards anybody, but in women in particular, because women seem to have the hardest time wanting to talk about their trauma and the things that they have gone through. So we are literally showcasing everybody. I mean, from childhood trauma to drug addiction, past relationships. I mean, just so many different things that you come and you listen to how a woman went through what she went through and how she's living in her best life today. It's extremely motivational, but it is raw. Like it's gonna gut punch you. And I take pride in that because what I've learned for me is the rub in my back and it's all gonna work out. That did not help. That just made me feel cozy in my situation. This is, you're going to be told things like the ball is in your court and you have to authentically be yourself. And, we teach people how to treat us by what we allow. It's a
Mhm.
lot of internal growth. I mean, I'm offering a program, like a certificate program, because for me, I want my podcast to influence you. What's my word?
Influence? Influence
Influence?
you?
Does that go together?
Hmm.
Influence you. Why did that sound so weird to me? Maybe it's because
Be influential? I don't know. Well, you're
I want
you're wanting
to
to
be
certify.
influenced.
Yeah.
I was thinking about my network marketing like an influencer, and I'm like, no, that's not what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I want you to feel so influenced by what it is that you're hearing that I have a certificate program. So after you listen to a certain amount of episodes, you get to write into the show and tell me how you applied it to your life. Because this is truly making change. This isn't just, oh, I listened to a podcast and it was really great, but how did you apply it?
Hmm.
what did you put it into your life to make it work for you? So there's all different things that we're offering to make sure that you are getting the most out of listening to the podcast. So I'm really excited about it.
Fabulous. Certification. I love that.
Yeah,
I
it's
love
a
that.
brand new.
So, and it's everywhere.
Everywhere.
Okay.
Anywhere you stream a podcast or listen to music, you are going to find the School of Hard Knocks.
I love it. And then put a plug in. The book is on your book.
Amazon. Yep, it's called
Yep.
Empower Her Volume 1. You can get it on Amazon in the Kindle version. It's only 99 cents. All proceeds go to UNICEF to help women across the whole entire world get education if they need it. So in like smaller countries and things like that. But I'm partnered alongside 24 other authors. That this is a very grit to grace type of book, and it is beautifully written and extremely motivational. So if you're looking to read something to see other people that have gone through hard things, I'm chapter 10.
Yeah.
Get in there and check it out. It's really good. I'm
Yeah.
I'm really proud of it. Bestseller in 15 different categories.
It's
I
awesome.
mean, now I've been on NBC, CBS,
Yeah.
ABC, Fox, like the Herald News. It's been a
It's getting
very
around.
it's getting around. It's been a very powerful journey, but again, because I stepped into my greatness.
Hmm. Yeah, and
So,
your story is living proof, right? That pain can be made into your purpose. It can be tied
absolutely.
right into that. And so, for the women that are listening right now who feel like they're in their own hard knocks season right now, what's one piece of encouragement that you'd leave her with today?
If you're currently in your season of hard knocks, know it's just that. It's just a season. It's just a season. You're going to get through what it is you're going through. If you think back, you've already made it through 100% of the things that you've gone through up to this point. You're going to make it through this. Just make this one the one that actually sticks. Make this one the one that gives you the tools that you need so when life comes back at you again, you're stronger the next time. I call it my reboot time. My reboot time before used to be like 3, 4 days of just crying, eating horribly, not showering, staring at the ceiling, like, what is this life about? Now, if something gets me down or triggers me, I can reboot in less than 20 minutes.
Heck yeah.
Less than
I love that.
20 minutes. And I mean, if you start your day off, something happens, what are you going to do to change it?
Hmm.
Don't allow yourself to get sucked into it. Oh, this happened. Now I'm done for the day. No, you just made the decision that you're done for the day. You got to make the decision like, okay, that just happened. We're going to reboot. I'm going to listen to this. What's your favorite song? I say that to people all the time. Music is so influential in how you heal. So I love Jamie McDonald's new song that she sings. Desperate.
Hmm.
It's so good. It's a worship song. So for me, worship songs help me a lot.
Me too.
Otherwise I put on some like 90s rap.
We had a little,
There's
little bit of
something
that
about
all.
reliving my younger days. They're like, yeah, you're still that
Nostalgia.
girl. Like you got it. So whatever it is that re-triggers that brain, is what you have to do.
Hmm. Yeah, and I love that you say it was worship music because I was going to say, music, songs, singing, it is worship, you know.
Yes,
So the words that we say them, sing them, it is you're putting it out there. So yeah, make them positive, make them encouraging,
absolutely.
fill you up with that. But
Hmm.
your voice, thank you so much for sharing your voice, your story, you know, getting to connect with you on another level as we're continuing our friendship and
Yes.
relationship building and having the listeners hear more about the impact that our pain and our purpose can really make in our worlds um, is so beautiful. So I want to say thank you for taking the time to do this. And for our listeners, if this conversation drew something up for you, be sure to share it. Make sure that you're following the podcast and go check out Darcie's brand new podcast, The School of Hard Knocks. Make sure you go check that out as well. And everything that you were saying at the end, I was like, yes, listen to her, what she's saying. Choose on purpose. That's
Yes.
why that's what this is called,
Yes.
making those decisions in our life. Everything that we're talking about, it's about living with intention. It's about making these choices daily to give a vote to the person that you're becoming and say yes to those things that are keeping you on a path that is your purpose, what you're here to do. And yeah, I'm so grateful for these conversations and getting to share your knowledge and your wisdom with us. So thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. And is there somewhere that you would like the viewers to go other than the podcast, or is that where you want them to go connect with you?
You can literally find me anywhere. I mean, I'm basic Facebook is my
Okay.
biggest, and I share everything on there. Our journey with my dad, with the podcast, with being a grandma. So if you want like behind the scenes stuff for now, that's the place to go.
All the pieces of Darcie, they're all right there.
That's what I should call it.
All there we go.
Becky just
Look at
named
that.
it.
That happens a lot,
That was
actually.
good, actually.
All the
All the
pieces.
pieces of Darcy. I absolutely love it. That
Mhm.
was really good.
That's good. All right.
Thanks.
Well, love yourself, live fearlessly, and do all things with purpose. Until next week, we'll see you then.